Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and yes, I am still very much pregnant. I think you can see in the reflection of the door here, yeah, she's pretty big, she's huge. I am 38 weeks and 3 days today. Every day that I get to, I'm like, holy cow, how is this possible? I'm feeling very grateful. I'm in a good mood because I just, you know, still, I never thought I would be pregnant in the first place, let alone would my body allow me to feel this good this late into pregnancy. I know that there are people who get hospitalized and are on bed rest for months, weeks, if not months, and I'm just grateful because I'm outside about to do a little bit of gardening. Yesterday I saw my best friend. She was visiting her family from Texas, and so I got to see her. She's the one that named my ostomy Leroy. I got to see her daughter, and we took a picture with the four of us. And you know, I'm working on her daughter's best friend. So, you know, it's just, I'm grateful that I can do these things, and I'm at the point now where doctors are just like, hey, if she comes, she comes. Great. You know, I have been given the go-ahead to try all of the things to get things moving. I know that she's the one that's going to tell me when she's coming, but, you know, I've been given that approval, and so there are some things I want to share about that. I also got a call this morning officially with a date of how far we're going to let her go. I have gotten a lot of messages, comments, you know, it happens when you share your life on the internet, and I'm totally fine with that, about induction, just people's positive experiences, negative experiences, and Zach and I are making the decision that we feel the most comfortable with, and so that really is just giving her as much time as possible to do things on her own, which is my hope. I'm really hoping that she comes when she wants to, and there's no intervention needed, but there is a point at which I feel a little uncomfortable letting her continue to stay in there. So I am really grateful because my OB office has not been pressuring me in any way to do any sort of induction or not. They've just been, hey, what do you feel comfortable with? We want to work with you. I was like a little surprised by that. I've had a lot of people in other countries that are not in the US ask if that's pretty typical for, you know, early inductions and stuff. And I think it is more common here. I don't want to do an early induction. So that's all I'll say. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I do have a date officially scheduled, and that, like, I started tearing up because I know we have a date. Like, I don't know how long it'll take after that point if she does make it there, but we have a date. Anyways, there's so much I want to update you on. I want to talk about colostrum collecting because started doing that. You know, I've been given the approval for that, and that has been actually kind of successful. Didn't expect it. So I thought I would share a little bit about that and my thoughts about it. I wanted to share about I feel like a little sappy, but the body positivity from my husband and how he's always been that way, but how it's really made an impact recently because, you know, my body looks a bit different. It feels like she's growing really, I mean, my belly's just expanding daily at this point. Yeah, and I thought I would share what I'm doing around the house because I'm about to plant some zinnias and some celosia, potentially tomatoes. I did some peppers this morning, and yeah, I thought I would take you along for that. So here's 38 weeks and 3 days. Okay, so I'm coming out here to the garden area. You can see the trellises that we showed in a recent vlog. Zach put these up for me, but we also just added this guy here. So I'm gonna do cucumbers growing on this trellis. I've got some nasturtium that I just planted this morning down there. Grew those from seed. Hopefully they'll be okay. They're looking a little rough. I gotta water them. Let me turn this sprinkler off really quick. Okay, so here's where I put the peppers. I know this stuff is gonna be super close together. it is what it is. I'm working with the space that I have. But all of these stakes here are going to be for tomatoes. And then I think I mentioned this trellis that goes along here is for all the green beans. And then we come over here and we've got flowers. So my daffodils have kind of died out. You can see some tulips down there. But we went to Lowe's and I got some more irises. I got these pretty like kind of white colored ones. I already have purple ones that are popping up here. They've been here for years. You can see some of my oriental lilies. I have some Asiatic lilies as well mixed in throughout. And then some other things I got at Lowe's. Dusty Miller. And then some other little dahlias. Look at how pretty. Let me show you what it is. It is, hold on, clean the soil off there. What does that say? Lisa Dark Pink. So I have 2 of those. Stick that guy back in there. Then I have this one. And this one is Novation White Dahlia. And I pinched off all the little extra flowers that we're trying to grow because really I want to enjoy the big flowers that are already there, but let it establish its roots a little bit more. Yeah, so I do have more flowers that I plan on putting in here, but now it's time to go over to the zinnias. So coming over here, this is going to be a lot of just flowers. Really, that's the only thing I'm growing here, except for down there. But here I have 4 posts. I don't know if you can see these 2 and these 2. Between them, I have dahlia tubers that I've saved. So I already put them in the ground. They're not coming up yet, you can see. Nobody's popping out yet. And then around it, I have these zinnias that I've grown from seed. I actually saved all these seeds. I have a little bit of calendula I gotta figure out where to put. And different types of celosia, which is these guys. Sorry, my camera shadow kind of blocking, but yeah. Got some more zinnias and celosia here. I'm going to let these grow probably, well, we'll see. We got to see when I'll be able to plant or if Zach will be planting these. And then down here, I actually have asparagus growing. Now, I can't harvest this. I don't know if you can see the little ferns, I guess you would call them. But this area is going to be sectioned off just for the asparagus to grow, and hopefully in a couple years we'll get some. But I'm going to start working on planting these guys because the weather looks good. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that it stays good. Just keep it, oh, I can barely cross my fingers. But keep my fingers crossed that we don't get any more frost, any more freezes, and everything survives. You can't tell me I'm not ambitious. Okay, all I got through was the zinnias, and then I was like, nope. It's hot, it's really sunny, and honestly, fatigue just hit me like a train. I am so tired all of a sudden, and I don't want to overdo anything. I want to hydrate, I want to lay down, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to make some element up real quick, and the zinnias are being watered now. I've got one of those soaker hoses over it. It's not going to be perfect. I know there was some that I probably should have thinned out. I don't care. We're doing our best to get stuff done, and I feel good that they're in the ground at least. I do want to plant some more zinnia seeds and the celosia and marigolds and things like that, but maybe tonight when it cools off, maybe another day. Maybe Zach will do it. I don't know. I'm going to lay down and then I'm going to come back to you guys and update you about collecting colostrum and all that fun stuff that I mentioned earlier. We are awake. We are awake. I'm proud. I only slept for maybe an hour and then I got back out in the garden, planted my celosia, planted marigolds, and well, that's it. I still have to plant tomatoes, but some of my Amish paste tomatoes are really struggling, and that happens every year, but then they finally will take off and we'll get these beautiful giant tomatoes from them. So hopefully that happens this year, but they're like that big when all my other varieties are that big. So I don't know what's going on, but okay. All right, we have a package here that I want to open. This is sent to the P.O. box. So I figured let's start with that. Get this guy going before I talk about colostrum and show you all that fun stuff. Okay, ooh. I am so excited for these because I know we're gonna need them. It looks like we've got some onesies here. That's awesome. I don't know who this is from though. Hopefully, oh shoot. There is not a note in here. Dang it. Okay, well look. It looks like more onesies. Oh my gosh. Let me show them to you. Please let me know if you got these because there is no gift note or anything in here. Ew. Oh my gosh. Look at these. What size is this? Because she's 0 to 3 months. She'll fit in these soon. Isn't that crazy? That's wild to think. Oh, look at the little stars and the moons. Thank you so much. I wish I knew who this was from. Well, that's awesome. Okay. The more onesies, the better. And honestly, the t-shirt's fantastic because the summertime, that is great. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Wow. People are so kind. All right. So let's talk about colostrum. I did not think I'd have any success with it, and I went in with really no expectations, which is how I think if you're gonna try and do that before you deliver, probably should go into it, I guess, because I guess some people can express it early, some people can't. It doesn't dictate how you're gonna do with breastfeeding or producing milk or anything like that. But I did ask my OB, hey, if I wanted to do that, when is it safe to do it? They gave me the okay at 37 weeks, and I tried at 37 weeks, 0 success. Like, nothing came out. And so I thought, whatever, like, I'm not gonna worry about it. Then at 38 weeks, I said, let me try again. And I sat there, I was next to Zach, I sat there trying to hand express, because that's how they say to do it. And again, was not getting anywhere. So then Zach said, would you like me to try? And the thing that I've been struggling with is my hands are super numb and weak and painful from the carpal tunnel. And at this point, I'm just used to it. I'm not icing my wrists or anything at night anymore. I try to keep them as straight as I can, and that's about it. Otherwise, like, there's too many other symptoms going on for me to worry about, but it's still, like, my fingertips are completely numb except for my pinkies. Anyways, so I said, all right, give her a go. And he had success. I got my first drop of colostrum with him, and I think we got maybe 0.6 milliliters that night from him with stronger hands and like a better technique, I guess, doing it. And I know that sounds a little strange, but you know, he's seen all of it, okay? There's no mysteries there. And so I feel like that gave me a really good idea for the amount of pressure needed and kind of the technique that needed to be used. So that was really helpful. And I tried again and I tried again, and we've had success. So I'm gonna grab it out of the freezer because I'm freezing it as I go. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm giving you a warning just in case you don't want to see it. And I do just want to clarify that the reason I give you a warning is because when Zach got the first dropout, I gagged. Colostrum is, I guess, the first round of milk that you produce. It's what the baby eats for the first few days. And it's a lot thicker than milk, and it's usually yellow. And it's exactly what it looks like. I don't know. I was amazed. So this is colostrum, and I couldn't believe that my body actually produced it. Can you guys see? I'm trying not to focus on my face here. So I got a milliliter, and how cool is that? I just think that's fantastic. Like, my body actually produced something that it was supposed to. And so I have a few syringes here. This is from the last 3 days of us trying, and really it's been me trying now. And I'm getting about 1 milliliter per time. I will say that righty is not as good as lefty. I don't know why. It's catching up. It is catching up. But this is the kind of stuff that I want to be aware of, and I feel like it's helping me get a good technique for hand expression and understanding maybe what it's going to feel like a little bit with breastfeeding, because they are getting sore with me doing this. Not like I'm not trying to cause myself pain or anything. I'm going to stop if I feel pain, but you know, it feels a little bit sore after I do that, and I do believe that's how I'm going to feel breastfeeding frequently, at least in the beginning. So it's cool to learn this about your body, and I feel like it is kind of mentally preparing me for what's to come. So I'm glad that I'm doing it. The thing about it is, we may not need this colostrum. I have no idea. We could do great in the hospital. She could feed really well, and I won't have to worry about this stuff. I hear that people save it, freeze it for when their kiddo is sick, and then they can feed it to them then because it's full of immunoglobulins and stuff. But I'm not going to worry. If we don't use it, that is okay. I just think it's really cool that I'm able to do this. And like I said, my doctor had said it's fine. And then when we went to our last appointment, it was one of the things that they said, hey, you can try expressing colostrum to maybe get things going, because you don't want to do it too early. Sometimes it can cause uterine contractions from my understanding. So you want to be careful with it. But yeah, I'm doing this twice a day now. So 2 milliliters a day. I'm happy with that. That's so cool. Like, my body is doing what it's supposed to. And I'm just continually amazed every time this happens. I don't know. Yeah, there's my little collection. All right, I just want to put this back in the freezer really quick because I don't want any of it to thaw too early. Yes, so on that same track though, you know, Zach helping me out with the hand expression, I feel like that helped me understand a little bit better how that works. I mean, when you've never had anything come from your chest, I mean, I had nothing to speak of up here before pregnancy. It's really odd. It's really odd to see the changes that happen so quickly with your body. And that's why I am really grateful to Zach. I mean, he's always been very body positive. He doesn't, like with my ostomy, you know, he didn't care when we first met. It was just, the way he always describes it is, okay, well, you have an ostomy bag because that helps you adapt to life. I wear glasses. That helps me adapt to life. It's just something that helps us out. It's not a big deal. That's kind of the way that he's always looked at it. And I knew that he was very supportive with bodily changes, obviously going through proctocolectomy and things like that, and me losing a lot of weight and then gaining it and stuff. But I feel like just with how rapidly my body's changed throughout pregnancy, and I see it every time I edit my videos. I'm like, you look like a different person. And I just, even seeing my best friend yesterday, I forget if I mentioned this, even just seeing them, they saw me around 10 weeks pregnant, and now they're seeing me at 38. They were like, oh my gosh, like, look at you. You look so good. You look so different. So, you know, it's that rapid change that it's hard to adjust personally to that. And I'm just grateful that Zach has been there through it all, and he keeps calling me beautiful, even though I'm like, I feel like a whale. I feel like a beluga. I'm grateful for that. That is very much helping me mentally. Yeah. So we're trugging along over here, and I think I'm going to get some of my things done on my list. I did start a Word document of my labor list, something that I'll probably put on the front door or maybe the fridge. I don't really have room on the fridge, as you guys have seen. There's a lot of ultrasound pictures. But the labor list of all the things that I want to do should I go into labor naturally, or, you know, if I get to the date that we've picked, get that stuff done, I guess, that morning or the night before. Just like mopping the floor in here, because the floor, we have these like white linoleum tiles, worst decision ever, with 4 dogs, and, you know, it's spring, it rains. There's no keeping it clean. There just isn't. You have to mop pretty much daily if you want to keep it clean. But yeah, putting dishes in the dishwasher, just making sure everything's ready for us to come home to a fairly fresh house that's organized. For the most part, I feel like we've gotten it done. We've got it mostly handled. Man, I do have a little crafty project that I might show you. I have the stuff coming tomorrow. I feel bad. I saw an ad for this bracelet. Really, really pretty, but it said, it was like a Mother's Day gift, and it said Gigi, and that's what Zach's mom wants to be called. So Gigi is gonna get a Mother's Day bracelet that says Gigi on it, that I'm gonna make instead of buying for way more money. I just bought the stuff to make the bracelet. I'm gonna make one for myself, and I'm gonna make one for her aunt, who is Zach's sister. So the three of us can have kind of a matching bracelet, and I'll give that to them because I'm sure we'll see them in the coming weeks. But I'll show that to you guys. But I definitely, I took it from an ad. I am inspired by an ad, so they were beautiful. I know that I can make it myself, and sometimes you gotta do that. Anyways, yeah. I think I'll spend the rest of the evening just straightening up still. I feel like that's never ending. I've got some meatballs with my own homegrown tomato sauce going in the crock pot on the the counter over here. So we'll have some meatball sandwiches tonight. I know, it was one of the postpartum meals, but I did make multiple batches of them. So I thought, you know what? This will get us through the next couple days. If I do this tonight, let's do it tonight. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna keep updating you guys as I feel necessary. Here we are, 38 and 3. Let's see how far we go. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at LetsTalkIBD.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.